We all get tired. But sometimes you get to a point where you're trying to be more productive, or you're trying to get something done, or maybe you're trying to muster up the energy of Gary Vaynerchuk and you just can't quite do it. Something's off. And when you finally hit that point where you feel like you're chronically tired or fatigued all the time, it's a signal from your brain telling you, hey, something's up, something's off, and there's something in your lifestyle that needs to change. So in this video, I want to give you my top 5 brain hacks to help skyrocket your energy as quickly as possible. Now, before we jump into the video, if you are somebody who enjoys brain hacking and just upgrading every part of your life so you can accomplish more, do more, and be more, then make sure you click that red subscribe button to join our community here that we're building on YouTube, so that way you can get access to the latest videos as they get released. When people are low on energy, one of the first things that people will go to is caffeine. They'll hit the coffee, the energy drinks, the green tea, whatever it might be, just to get that dose of caffeine. Now, I'm not saying that caffeine's bad, but sometimes it can be misused. Caffeine is actually an incredible nootropic that works very efficiently for our brain, but over the long term, it can start to cause some problems with your energy. Now, studies have shown that caffeine stimulates an organ in your body called your adrenal glands. They actually sit right on top of your kidneys, and they're really important to help your body regulate your hormones, your ability to adapt to stress, as well as your energy levels. Now, when those adrenal glands get overtaxed, sometimes they can fatigue like a muscle can, and they stop working effectively. And what happens is when your adrenals fatigue, you fatigue. That's why it's so important to be so aware of how much caffeine you're really getting, because in the short term, yes, it may be helping you tremendously, but in the long term, you could be causing a cycle where your adrenals start to fatigue over time, and that can lead to an even bigger problem. So you want to be careful with how much caffeine you're getting. You also want to be aware of how sensitive you are to caffeine, because people who are more sensitive to caffeine tend to fatigue their adrenals faster than people who have a higher tolerance to something like caffeine. To make a long story short, caffeine's meant to be short-term aid, not a long-term solution. So you want to be careful with how you're using caffeine. Again, not saying it's bad. I love caffeine, but it's very easy to be overdone. Now, if you find yourself in this position where you think you are drinking too much caffeine, it's important to take some time away from all stimulants altogether. So you're gonna wanna stay away from coffee, energy drinks, green teas, anything that stimulates the nervous system, just to give your body and your adrenals a little bit of time to rest and reboot. And then when you go back to your caffeine, start slow, build back up to a healthy level, not too much. Now, brain hack number 2 is to exercise. Now, you may be sitting there thinking, okay, so I'm low on energy, so you're telling me I have to put out more energy through exercise to get more energy? How does that work? Well, it's not exactly how it works in the body. It works a little bit differently. I want you to think of it more like jump-starting a battery for your car. If your car's battery is dead, you can't just expect it all of a sudden to work. All of a sudden, you got to give it a jump start. Now, the way to jumpstart your body's internal battery is through exercise. And the beautiful thing about exercise is when you exercise, you're flooding your brain with oxygen, nutrients, and also helps stimulate the production of endorphins and different factors that give you more energy. And it gives your body this nice reboot when you exercise. So it's not like you're trading one for the other. In fact, when you put that energy into exercise, it actually reaps tenfold back to you in your energy levels if you do it properly. Now, if you're somebody who's been chronically fatigued, an important thing to remember is you may not want to jump into something like high intensity exercise if you're not familiar with it. High intensity exercise, hence the name high intensity, may be too intense for your body if you've been dealing with chronic fatigue for some time. That also may be a sign that your body's in what we call adrenal fatigue, as we talked about before. So in that case, what you may want to consider doing is starting slow with something more like cardio. Low intensity but longer duration gets your body sweating, and that'll help your body get that jump start that it needs. And as you progress throughout your energy levels, you'll be able then to start adding in other types of exercise like high intensity exercise. Now, a critical factor for your body being able to produce energy is it needs rest. And that means good quality sleep, not necessarily quantity of sleep. You could be getting 10 hours of sleep, but if it's poor, restless sleep, it's not going to be as good as if you're getting, let's say, 7 to 8 hours of really deep, restful, restorative sleep. Quality is always better than quantity when it comes to sleep. So this is really, really important. And I want to make a special note here about melatonin. Melatonin is a very popular sleep supplement out there that a lot of people use to help them get to sleep. And I want to be clear that melatonin doesn't help you actually get better quality of sleep. It actually helps you just fall asleep faster by hacking your brain's own melatonin hormone for sleep. So there's a really great book written on this called Why We Sleep, and the doctor then goes into how melatonin works and how melatonin just helps you get to sleep quicker, but it doesn't affect the quality of your sleep, which is so much more important. And for this, one of the best recommendations that I give for people is magnesium. Magnesium has been coined as nature's Valium, and there's a reason why. Magnesium helps calm and relax your central nervous system in your brain. That's why it's so important. And also, magnesium is used for literally every single cell of your entire body. Every single cell of your body uses magnesium for a purpose. It's one of the most valuable nutrients that you can have in your diet, and most people are deficient in magnesium. So a great product that I recommend for this is one called Natural Calm. That's one of my favorite supplements that I recommend for most people. And the research just goes to show how valuable magnesium is. Actually, there's research that shows that people who are deficient in magnesium tend to have more restless, lighter sleep. And there was a really interesting study that showed people who supplemented with magnesium as little as 500 milligrams actually showed increased levels of melatonin. And again, that's naturally, which means you wouldn't have to supplement that, which I'm always a proponent of, getting more of the natural hormone melatonin rather than always having to supplement with it. This is why I find magnesium is so valuable and also so beneficial for so many people, because it helps you get better, more restorative sleep, which therefore is going to help you maximize your energy levels for the next day. Now, number 4, food is fuel. You get the right fuel, you get great energy. Now, unfortunately for many people, they're getting the wrong type of fuel. There's fuel that you can eat that actually gives you energy and gives back to you, and then there's fuel that actually drains your energy just by eating it. And those foods that drain your energy are going to be those unhealthy foods, those highly processed foods, or the sugary foods. And the fact of the matter is, they just drain your energy over long term. Sure, they taste great, but they're zapping your energy. So you want to get highly nourishing, energizing foods into your diet that are going to support your brain power and support your energy levels. And some of the first foods that I recommend is something that your doctor's probably been telling you for years, which is to get more veggies. And veggies are full of all the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that your body needs to sustain energy levels. Your energy is being produced, and these minerals that come into the veggies that come through your diet through vegetables are so important for your metabolism. They're necessary for your body to produce the energy, to actually take that food and turn it into energy. And if you don't have the right minerals and vitamins that your body needs, you're not going to be able to take that food and turn it into energy. So that's why vegetables are so valuable. And you want a vast array, vast color, because that's just going to show you the types of nutrients that you're going to be getting in your food. And the more widespread that is, the better your energy is going to be. The second one here is healthy fats. Your brain is made up of mostly fat. And so in order to build a healthy, high-functioning brain, you need healthy fats. This is something that I've talked about in many videos. And with something like this, some easy ways you can get this in is things like MCT oils, coconut oil, avocado oil, nuts. Omega-3s, especially omega-3s, are full of healthy, good fats that your brain needs to function at a very high level and keep your energy high. And tip number 3 is not actually a food, but I just wanted to say, don't overdo it. You never want to eat too much food, because what happens is anytime you eat, your body's using energy to digest food. So if you eat too much food, your body's going to continually using so much energy to try to digest all that food. So that's why sometimes if you overeat, you feel super tired afterwards, because your body's now just spent tons of energy trying to digest and process that massive meal that you just ate. So always be careful not to overdo your meal, and that's going to help you keep your blood sugar and your energy level at the right level. Now, step number 5 is a little bit different, but it's to up your B12. Now, for many of you, if you're out there and you're listening to this, I'm guessing you also have plenty of stress that accompanies your low energy level. Now, in this case, for most people, when you're more stressed, stress reduces your B12. Now, B12 is a B vitamin that is so important for your energy levels, and it's one of the first things that many nutritionists and doctors will check for with something like chronic fatigue. And the reason is B12 is necessary. It's a necessary vitamin that helps you take the food that you eat and convert it into energy. It's very important. If you're not getting enough of it, or your body's getting depleted in B12 due to stress, you're going to find yourself chronically with low energy levels. Now, there's a simple fix for this. All you do is you just get more foods that have more B12 in it. And that can come from things like beef, animal liver. It can also come from your supplementation as well. There's some great supplements out there as well. There's certain types of fish that have B12. It's very easy to just do a quick look up on Google and see what kind of foods have tons of B12 in it and just start adding those into your diet more, especially if you know you're under a lot of stress or you're dealing with low energy levels. So if your body is being depleted of B12, it doesn't matter what you're doing, your body's not going to be able to turn food into energy. And that means you are going to be constantly tired and fatigued. Now, these are 5 really simple brain hacking tips that you can use to start maximizing and increasing your energy levels naturally. And I hope these are really helpful for you. If you found these helpful, I'd love to hear your story down in the comments below. Or if you have anything else that's been really beneficial for you, I'd love to hear that down in the comments below. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this video. If you found it helpful and found it useful, I'd really appreciate it if you just smash that like button down there so that people know this is a really good video on brain hacking and maximizing their energy. And on that note, if you do like videos on brain hacking and just being a better, more awesome person in general, make sure you click that red subscribe button over there, because that's going to let you know the next time we come out with a video, which is going to be next week. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.